I'm Brooks Compton, Mayor of the City of Centerville. We've just completed our second meeting of the year, January 25th, 2016, and we're going to provide just sort of a brief summary of the meeting and some of the items that we addressed during the course of this meeting. The first thing we did in this meeting was we swore in the new council member, Bill Sayre, who was selected from applicants that had submitted their application and submitted to interviews with City Council. Bill Sayre was sworn in this evening to serve as our 7th council member. Bill's been a longtime member of the community. He works at GraceWorks as the executive director, and we welcome Bill as our new council member. We also welcomed Mark Engert to his first formal council meeting, and we enjoyed having him, and he participated fully in the meeting this evening. This evening, as we do at our first January meeting, we elect a deputy mayor, and the deputy mayor serves for 2 years, and council elected Belinda Kenley to serve as our deputy mayor for the next 2 years. Also this evening we appointed our charter commission, and the charter commission is something that's appointed every 8 years by the city to review the charter, and this group of individuals will review the charter and make recommendations, and if they do make recommendations that are significant, they need to go on the ballot, and they would be on the ballot in November. Doug Klein will be serving as the chairman of the Charter Commission, and Paul Gresham will serve as the vice chair. There are other members of the council, other members of the commission. They'll be notified and will serve and will submit a report before August 1 of this year. During the mayor's report, we spoke briefly about Art at the Trace, which will take place on February 6th of 2016, starting at 6:30. We also have our upcoming business breakfast, which will be March 9 of 2016 out at Yankee Trace. And we also will have our next neighborhood meeting, which is March 14th, and that's going to include pretty much the southwest corner of the city of Centerville, Yankee Trace, Rose Estates, and those areas that are in south of Franklin Street and west of 48. And that will all be at the police department on March 14th. During the course of our regular consent agenda items, we had the update of the building codes. That's set for public hearing for our February 15th meeting, and we did pass an emergency ordinance to address those updates, and those items are now effective now. We did revise our council agenda just slightly, where after the mayor's report, we will go into council committee reports before the city manager's report, and that's to have an opportunity for council members to offer some comments about things that have happened through the community before the city manager makes his report, because his report is generally a little bit longer and involves items that have come up before the Planning Commission. The balance of our meeting was devoted to budget items. Dr. Henshaw and Greg Horn put on the annual report of our budget, which summarizes our budget from the items that how we ended in 2015, basically to the blueprint of how we're going to handle things during the course of 2016 through the budget items as presented by Greg and Dr. Henshaw. It was an excellent report. Usually it's about 35-40 minutes. It has a lot of very helpful slides, and I think the city will have that on the MBCC as a standalone presentation, and if you do get a chance to watch that, it's a very good summary of where the city is heading for the year 2016 and where we stand on a financial standpoint right as we exist today. But just briefly, as a very quick summary of that, we ended the year 2015 with a balance of approximately $24 million, which is a little bit higher than was anticipated because there were items that were not purchased or completed during the course of 2015 that will be expenses during the course of 2016. We expect to have approximately an ending amount on our budget of $17,900,000 at the end of 2016. Jennifer Wilder, who handles human resources for our city, took care of the personnel ordinances for the regular city employees and also there at Yankee Trace, and updated the personnel manuals. As we wrap up our January 25, 2016 meeting, if you'd like more information about the budget or about what's going on for the city of Centerville, you may see the website, the Centerville website, or you may call the city at 433-7151, and we'll see you next month.